Have you ever planned to accomplish a goal, but other people didn't believe in you? What about the doubters and critics who made you feel like giving up? Even worse are the ones who said nothing when you shared your vision. What if your dream was one that challenged your beliefs and might even change the course of your life? Perhaps there was someone in your corner who truly supported you. When you listen to this relatable story, imagine yourself in it. It speaks to all of us. Follow the journey of the Ladybugz, England's first all-female rock band. It was the usually gorgeous day in Los Angeles, a bright and carefree afternoon. Rain Showalter and Ben Baker's sprawling estate was the annual meeting place for the Ladybugz Family and Friends Weekend. Guests from around the country and across the pond gathered under the back garden pavilion of the couple's 20-room mansion, mingling and laughing together. Aged like the finest of wines, the former members of the Ladybugz are in their mid-70s now. Their lifelong friendship forged an unbreakable bond that could only be rivaled by the Tower of London's historic masonry. Rain, the drummer of the band and consummate hostess of the festivities, busily carried trays of vegan hors d'oeuvres from her massive kitchen out to the beautifully decorated buffet tables. With almost the same remarkable energy of yesteryear, Petite Rain bounced back and forth, serving this and pouring that for her guests, refusing help from the waitstaff Ben insisted they hired. Her two daughters and son even tried to take over as host, but she wouldn't hear of it. Rain and her humble upbringing always told her to do things for herself and not act like some big-time celebrity, although her fame was worldwide. The ever-statuesque Pauline MacKinnon sat elegantly on a chaise lounge, fanning herself and sipping a margarita. Her husband Norman and her 5 sons were close by. Pauline was the bassist, keyboardist, and the co-lead singer of the four. She enjoyed making her yearly sojourn to the States for this occasion, glad to escape the constant downpours and chilly fog at her mansion in London for a bit. Gloria Henderson, their lead guitarist and backup singer, quietly strolled over to the pavilion after taking a peaceful walk around the expansive tree-lined grounds with her husband Orlando and their daughter. She sat down beside a large array of orchids placed around the seating area and inhaled its fragrance deeply, closing her gentle eyes. Still with her love of all things green, it reminded Gloria of her own lovely garden in the English countryside back home. She single-handedly curated the most elaborate orchard of fruit trees and flowering plants that she'd often gift to friends. Jennifer Lloyd, founder, lead singer, and rhythm guitarist of the Ladybugz, ambled around chatting with guests using a walking stick carved from an acacia tree that she was given during one of her numerous trips to Africa. Living in Washington, D.C. since her relocation from England, Jennifer was always excited to get together with her best friends and family to socialize and catch up on old times. Not the least bit slowed down by her walking cane or advanced age, lively Jennifer made the rounds, eating and joking with various groups of people at the event. An audience always made her feel so alive. Pauline called Jennifer over to say hello to their dear friend and former sound engineer named Miles and his wife who had just arrived. Jennifer's 2 daughters and her husband Ymir of nearly 50 years were also in attendance and greeted them warmly. More guests continued milling into the yard, embracing, reconnecting, holding babies, and introducing new faces to each other. The joy in the atmosphere was palpable. A group of teenage girls were lounging on outdoor pillows near the main seating area, scrolling on their iPhones. They were the Ladybug's 4 granddaughters. Jennifer's granddaughter leaned towards one of her friends to show her the phone. A video from the 1960s of the Ladybugz performing a hit song was playing. The girls proudly watched it together, each commenting on their clothes, hair, and overall fierceness. Somehow, the conversation got around to them wanting to start their own singing group, just like their elders had done. Their family's industry connections and being genetically blessed with talent assured instant fame and success, they assumed. The more they talked about it, the more excited they became, so they decided to go share this important revelation with their families. Beaming with anticipation, they eagerly inquired how their grandmothers started the Ladybugz and wanted to hear the whole juicy story. The senior ladies laughed and shook their heads, knowing their history all too well. Jennifer couldn't resist telling a good story, though, so she cleared her throat and began by saying that starting a band was actually rather easy. And so, the legend of the Ladybugz begins.